and India is a member country. And therefore, this council is making all these principles. Earlier, these principles were brought out in a booklet known as Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. You know about it. And later, they made that again, they brought out accounting standards. And now, recently, they brought out IFRS. Like this, from time to time, they are bringing out the principles and practices we have to follow all over the world. And all the member countries have to follow it. But you may be asking, sir, we studied all these things as an art. What is the art part in this? There is nothing art in this. Please keep in mind, bit of flexibility is given country to country, and that is what we follow. And that flexibility does not mean that you are making or you are making some changes in the major principles. You cannot dilute the principles. The major principles will remain the same. What are the changes you can make? You can make the very little changes. For example, the taxation law in India may not be the same all over the world. And according to our Income Tax Act, we can make some small changes. Our GST may not be the same GST all over the world. But naturally, we can make some changes into it. But basically, the platform, the science platform of the accountancy may not be disturbed. Therefore, balance sheet does not come as a first element. Actually, the formula was developed. And after the formula, they developed they come to a conclusion, the same amount should appear in two places. Then only A is equal to C plus L will hold good. Assets must always be equal to capital, and liabilities will hold good only when same amount will appear in two times, in two places. And then they gave the name dual aspect. What is dual aspect? For every debit, there should be a corresponding credit. But the full meaning of that, the meaning is if an amount is debited in one account, the same amount is to be credited in another account. That is the full meaning of that. See how this principle was made? It is because of A is equal to C plus L. And that is a mathematical formula. Actually, that is what later we converted into balance sheet. You take balance sheet or you take profit and loss account. Can anybody know? Profit and loss account is prepared because of a combination of many principles. We use accounting period concept. That is a principle. Accounting period principle. It may be either 12 months. It may be either 6 months. You can prepare for even 3 months. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Or you can prepare once in a year. It is compulsory. That's all. It is made compulsory by the government of India. And that is the reason all business houses will prepare on 31st March. Do you want your profit and loss account for one day? You can prepare. Good number of companies in India will know their profit at the end of the day. Do you know it? And now, since accounting is done through computerized method, at the end of the day, you can prepare balance sheet. Daily, you can prepare balance sheet. So much of advance we have made. But you cannot do anything without applying the principles. And if principles are applied, it is a science subject. And that is the reason, my dear friends. Merita, please mute. Please mute. Merita Tangachan. Okay. And that is the reason our chartered accountants are doing well all over the world. Anywhere you go, anywhere our CAs will go, they apply the same principles. They prepare the same balance sheet. And what is the art part in the balance sheet? We write liabilities on the left-hand side and assets on the right-hand side. In some other countries, they are writing other way around. But you cannot disturb the main fabric of the balance sheet, the meaning of balance sheet. Now we started preparing income statement, profit and loss account. My dear friends, keep in mind what we teach in the classroom, profit and loss account are gone. It is outdated. Now we prepare income statement. Therefore, time has come in the classroom. We teach the students how to prepare the income statement. And there is a method of, but even though it is income statement, the major fabric of the accountancy may not be disturbed. We are having a principle. We are having the policies. We are having a science behind accountancy. Why we are charging depreciation? Do you know depreciation is expense or loss? Before that, you have to ask yourself, depreciation is an expense or a loss? Please keep in mind, depreciation is not a loss. Depreciation is an expense. And if you want to know that in deep, you must know what is the difference between expense and a loss. Any payment will become an expense only when you are getting something in return. Salary is an expense. Why? You are getting the services of the employees. Wages is an expense. Why? You are getting the service of the laborer. But bad debts is a loss. See, bad debts is a loss. Why? You are not getting anything back. But all these three items will come on the same side, debit side of pronounced account and balance sheet, trading account. Keeping that in mind, tell me what is depreciation? Depreciation is not a loss. Depreciation is an expense. Why? Why? Because all the fixed assets are working for you and you are getting the returns from the fixed assets. And that is the reason you are charging depreciation. Have you seen? You are charging depreciation only for the fixed assets. Land, building, plant, machinery, furniture, computers, fittings. All these are fixed assets. And without these assets, you cannot make profit. And since you are getting the profit in return, you are charging depreciation, and therefore depreciation is an expense, it is not a loss. And we teach in the classroom depreciation as either as an item given inside trial balance or as an item given as adjustment. In majority of the cases, you have seen, my dear friends, students, as an adjustment. And when you write the adjustment, what you write? Charge depreciation 10%, 50%, blah, 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 etc. you are writing. Did anybody ask your teacher how this percentage was made? Who gave this percentage? Who made this percentage? If you want to know in deep about depreciation, my dear friends, you have to go through accounting standards. In accounting standard, if my memory is correct, accounting standard 6 clearly mentions what are the rules for charging depreciation. What is the percentage one can charge is decided by the Government of India. What is the method you can use is also decided as per the nature of the assets. Whether you can charge straight line method or you can charge diminishing balancing method, even the method will be chosen only as per the guidelines. In this manner, we are having a lot of principles that we have to study. But unfortunately, this type of discussions are not taking place. And that is one aspect of it. And again, you come back to the same statement. You start see why all of us, all means we the commerce fraternity is so proud of. We are all proud, my dear friends, only because of one subject you are learning, that is accountancy. BCom or BBA or BBM without accountancy is a big zero. The big zero. We are all proud. Why? Because we learn accountancy, we learn cost accounting, we also learn management accounting, we write all, we study all these things. And that is the reason we are proud. But this is one subject one should be taken. So why? Because this is the subject where you are exercising your skills, exercising your knowledge while solving the problem. Basically, what is happening in the classrooms, not just in Kerala, all over India, what is happening? We basically concentrate on how to solve a problem. We never discuss why we are solving like this. What is the principle behind this? When a balance sheet tallies, we are all relieved. Balance sheet tallied. But nobody tried to understand why a balance sheet tallies. If we prepare a profit and loss account, we are all happy if we get the answer. Just take an example. Suppose the net profit of Infosys 200 crores. Do you think Infosys is having 200 crores of rupees in cash in their cash box? Absolutely no. Profit is not equal to cash. And if you want to know more about that, then your profit and loss account is to be attached with the cash flow statement. And cash flow statement again is prepared by applying science. Accounting standard 3 is being applied. And accounting standard 3 is totally a science. What normally happens in the classroom, we just discuss 3 activities: cash from operating activity, cost from financing activity, cash from investing activity. That is not enough. Each and every activity has got a scientific background. And that is to be learned, and that is to be taught in the classroom. For that, we have to refer accounting standard 3. Some 10-15 pages are there in accounting standard 3 for preparing cash flow statement. And that is the science part of preparing cash flow we must know about. Let it be cash flow statement or fund flow statement. Anything you want to prepare, all these are scientific. Therefore, there is a science behind this, and that is what I want to put into your skull so that you can think in the days to come. Okay, you again come back to the method of what you studied, my dear friends, right from your 11th standard. You started studying journal, ledger. See, well, ultimately we come to trial balance. And what we do from trial balance, we prepare the financial statements, and once the balance sheet tallies, we are all happy. And that is the end of it. As far as we are concerned, tallying the balance sheet is a main concern. Absolutely no. We have to go back. We have to think about why this balance sheet tallies. Don't ask a question, how to prepare a balance sheet. Ask yourself, why I am preparing like this? What is the science behind this? Let me take you back. As I said, the first element in your life as an accountant or accounting student is journal. Don't you think each and every entry is made by applying the principles? Your debit and credit, whatever it may be, is all by applying the principles. Without principles, you cannot pass a single journal entry in the journal. From the journal, you are going to ledger, and that is also by applying some principles. Ultimately, the ledger balance will go to a trial balance. Why you prepare a trial balance? Normally, I used to say in my class, why you prepare a trial balance as an accountant? Why? Because you do not have confidence in yourself. That is the reason. What is the meaning of that? If the trial balance tallies, I am arithmetically correct. If the trial balance does not tally, I am wrong. That means you have to wait up to trial balance to verify whether you are right or wrong. That means some errors might have been committed by you. I give a practical example. Normally we prepare the trial balance. And then take a annual balance sheet on 31st March. 31st March evening by 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, the accountant will prepare the trial balance. Just imagine if the trial balance does not tally, what will you do? If the trial balance does not tally, disagrees, if the debit totals and credit totals are not equal, what will you do? You have to go back to your ledger. Verify your postings are right or wrong. Verify that each and every balance from the ledger you put into trial balance are right or wrong. Suppose imagine your ledger is perfect. Everything is okay. You are adding, you are subtracting, you are finding the balance, everything is perfect. Then what do you do? Naturally, the error might be in the journal. You have to go back to journal. Why? Ledger is prepared from the journal only. Just imagine 365 days of journal means how many lakhs of entries are there. Each and every entry you have to verify right from beginning to see whether you are right or wrong. 31st March, that is the last day you are sitting in the evening. Tomorrow is a new accounting year, 1st April. That day you have to see that your trial balance tallies. Practically, by human, it is not possible. Why? You have to verify each and every transaction, whether you are right or wrong. Everything is, you have to verify, and you have to apply science into it. All the accounting principles you applied. And even before I enter into this is what practically this is happening. Inside the classroom, you do not know. You do not know the heat of not telling the trial balance. But once you become an accountant, my dear friends, you come to know the heat of not telling a trial balance. Practically, you become an accountant. At the end of the financial year, if the trial balance does not tally, you will be real troubles. Why? You have to verify where the error is. Manually, I'm talking, not about with the help of computers. Computers may also, please remember, computers are also human brains. They may also commit mistakes. Computer can also commit mistakes. Therefore, suppose something goes wrong. Fine. Hello. Marin, please mute. Okay.
Please mute.
Okay. Shine? I'm audible.
Yes, it's audible, sir. Audible.
Okay, come back. We'll see that. We'll see to it. If the trial balance does not tally, what we'll do, we'll see to it. And even before that, my dear friends, at the 11th or 12th standard or even BCom level, you should know one more thing. You write purchase account as heading, you write sales account as heading, and you know these two accounts are just first, they are not correct. The headings of these accounts are not correct. Some trouble is there for me, Shine, can you hear me?
CB ma'am, could you please mute yourself? I am trying to mute you. Yeah, it's okay, sir. Now.
Okay.
Request I mean, request all the participants to mute yourself. Please don't interfere in between the class. In case if you have any suggestions, you can use the chat button.
Exactly.
Rajgopal sir will see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chat.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, sir. Thank you.
Exactly.
Over to you.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Now, see, look at your account headings you are writing, purchases account, sales account. We have to think loudly about these two accounts. And two more accounts are there. I will give you the names of those two accounts also. For example, purchased furniture. What is the entry you are making? Furniture account debtor to cash account if it is paid in cash. Purchased plant and machinery. What is the entry you are making? Plant and machinery account to cash if it is paid in cash. Purchased goods. You are making the entry purchases account debtor to cash. That is the area where you have to think over. This heading purchases is not correct. Why? Purchases is a process. What you purchase, that is important. Look at the first two examples. Purchased furniture, you made the entry furniture account debtor to cash. Why? Furniture is definable. You can see it's the real asset. You can see, you can touch it. Therefore, you applied the rule, debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Therefore, furniture came in, furniture account debtor to cash account entry you made. That is correct. At the same time, when you purchase goods, what is the entry made by you? Your entry is purchases account debtor to cash account. That is wrong. Why? Entry should be debit what comes in, goods are coming in, goods are assets, goods account debtor to cash. That is the correct entry. Therefore, when goods are purchased, correct entry is goods account, debtor to cash account. But we don't use the term goods account, we use the term purchase account. Have you ever thought why you are using purchase account? Purchases is only a process of buying something. But when you make the entry, you made the entry purchases account debtor to cash account. We never thought why it is so. And if you want to know why it is so, right? I want to give one more example. Sold goods. Correct entry, as per my definition, correct entry should be cash account debtor to sales account, cash account debtor to goods account. That is the correct entry. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out, goods are going out, therefore cash account debtor to goods account. See, that is where we made a change. When you purchase the goods, then also we use the term goods. When you sell the goods, then also we use the term goods. Suppose you are writing goods everywhere, do you know what happens? Only one goods account will appear in the ledger. Only one goods account will appear in the ledger. If only one goods appears, we cannot identify whether these goods are purchased goods or sold goods. Now I want to make a difference. Are they same goods or different goods? Purchased goods and sold goods, are they same goods or different goods? From an accountant's point of view, not from a common man's point of view, from an accountant's point of view, they are different goods. They are not the same goods. Why? Purchased goods are always at cost price and sold goods are always at selling price. That is the difference as far as an accountant is concerned. Not a common man is concerned. For a common man, they are same goods. He doesn't know the principles of accountancy. But by being an accounting student and accounting teacher, you must know these are different goods. When you purchase the goods, they are at the cost price. And when you sell the goods, they are at the selling price. In that sense, they are different goods. But naturally, these two goods are to be kept in two separate accounts, not in a single account by name goods account. And that is the reason, my dear friends, purchased goods we identified as purchasers and sold goods we identified as sales. Now it is two different accounts. Therefore, we can identify one is in cost price, another is in selling price. Same is the case with the purchases returns and sales returns. In these two cases also, correct entry is goods account. But we never use goods account. We use the term purchases returns account and sales returns account. Why? Because of identification. Purchased goods and purchases returns are separate goods. Sold goods and sales returns are separate goods. We have to keep all these goods separately. And that is the reason we use 4 different names. Purchases account is not correct, goods is correct. But we don't write goods, we write purchases. Sales account is not correct. Correct account is goods. But for identification, we rename the goods as sales. Same is the case with returns inwards and returns outwards. And this is how we make the differentiation. And that is how the ledgers are being prepared. Now you come back to trial balance. Okay, if the trial balance does not tally, you have to go back to journal, you have to verify each and every entry. In short, I should say that evening, 31st March evening, you cannot go home because you have to see that your trial balance tallies. Throughout night, you should be in the office. You are verifying each and every journal entry, ledger accounts, posting, adding, deducting, finding the balance amount is right or wrong. That is how you prepare your trial balance, because we want to see that trial balance tallies. Okay, now imagine your trial balance tallies. After trial balance, only the rest of the work will start. What is the rest of the work? Preparing financial statements. Have you ever thought, when you do the problems in the classroom, we are having n number of adjustments. Starting from closing stock, adjustment starts. But before I enter into adjustments, my dear friends, in the classroom, when we discuss the trial balance, try to understand a trial balance in a scientific manner. Just don't try to tally the trial balance, because trial balance carries a huge meaning which is hidden inside trial balance. Suppose I'm asking this question, what is the trial balance to a student of Kerala, anywhere, in Kerala, even in India, some answers will come out. Some of the answers I can give. Trial balance is a statement prepared at the end of a financial year to verify the arithmetical accuracy of the ledger balances. Trial balance has got two sides, debit and credit. Trial balance tallies, blah, blah, blah. Many answers will come. But being a good accounting student, we must conduct a post-mortem of trial balance. We have to study trial balance in deep. Let me try to give some more information about a trial balance which you may appreciate. Number one, each and every trial balance, an item will find a place inside trial balance if and only if that item is recorded in the journal. I repeat, each and every item inside trial balance will find a place inside trial balance only if that item is recorded in the journal, because the only pipeline to enter into trial balance is journal, ledger, and trial balance. You cannot trespass. The only way an item will enter into trial balance is journal, ledger, trial balance. That is the reason I made a conclusion. But an item will find a place inside trial balance if and only if that item is recorded in the journal. My second point about a trial balance. Each and every item inside trial balance must have undergone the double entry principles of, for every debit, there should be a corresponding credit. I repeat, each and every item inside trial balance must have undergone the double entry principles of, for every debit, there should be a corresponding credit. My third point about trial balance is, if an item inside trial balance shows a debit balance, I repeat, if an item inside trial balance shows a debit balance, it must be either an expense or a loss or an asset. If an item inside trial balance shows a debit balance, it must be either an expense or a loss or an asset. To this principle, only two exceptions are there. Two items in trial balance always shows a debit balance, but these two items are neither assets nor expenses nor losses. And these two items are, one is drawings, another is sales returns. Drawings and sales returns always shows a debit balance, but it is neither an expense nor a loss nor an asset. Now come to credit side. If an item shows a credit balance inside trial balance, if an item shows a credit balance, it must be either a liability or an income or a gain. For example, capital, always credit balance, but it is a liability. Bank overdraft, always a credit balance, but it is a liability. Bank loan is always a credit balance, but it is a liability. One exception is there, and that is purchase of returns. or returns outwards. It always shows on the credit side, but it is neither a liability nor a income nor a gain. Profit on sale of old asset always shows on the credit side, but it is a gain. Commission received always appears on credit side, but it is a income. Salary always comes on debit side. Why? It is an expense. Plant and machinery always comes on debit side. Why? It is an asset. So these are the things. And next item number 5, information number 5. If an item appears inside trial balance, then it appears in only one place in the financial statement. That is either in trading account or in Kronos account or in balance sheet. It never comes in two places. I repeat, if an item is given inside trial balance, it appears in only one place in financial statement. That is either trading account or Kronos account or balance sheet. For example, plant and machinery inside trial balance, it comes only in balance sheet. Purchases inside trial balance, it comes only in trading account. Salaries inside trial balance, it comes only in profit and loss account. Bad debts inside trial balance, it comes only in profit and loss account. It never comes in two places. But an adjustment which is given outside trial balance will come minimum in two places. I repeat, if an item is given outside trial balance known as adjustment, it should come minimum in two places. Regarding adjustment, let me go further. Why, sir? Why an adjustment should come in two places and why an item inside trial balance will come in only one place? You have to think over that. And this question can be answered with the help of my first information about trial balance. What is that? Each and every item inside trial balance must have undergone the double entry principles of for every debit there should be a corresponding credit. Therefore, all the items inside trial balance already double entry effect is over. Why an item did not find a place inside trial balance? Why it is given as adjustment? It is given as adjustment. Only one reason for that, and that reason is it is not recorded in the journal. An adjustment is given outside trial balance because it is not recorded in the journal. If any item is recorded in the journal, no doubt it should have to come inside trial balance. Why? That is the principle. That is the science. Why? Double entry is applied. If an item is recorded in the journal, the meaning is double entry is applied. If double entry is not applied, meaning is it is not recorded. If it is not recorded, it is given outside trial balance. That is the basic thing you must know. What is that? An adjustment is given outside trial balance because it is not recorded. Therefore, we conclude the double entry principles is not applied. An item is given inside trial balance because double entry principles are applied. Why? It came from journal. Journal, ledger, trial balance. What is the meaning? Double entry is over. Two places are over. But an item is given outside trial balance. What is the reason for that? It is not recorded. And you are recording for the first time. And regarding adjustments, I would like to discuss in detail now. Let me take 5 minutes for that. I will tell you, my dear friends, 90% of adjustments are not actually adjustments. 90%. For example, outstanding expenses should not have come as adjustment. Prepaid expenses should not have come as adjustment. Depreciation should not have come as adjustment. Interest on capital should not have come as adjustment. Let me ask you, don't you know on 31st March you have to charge depreciation? Don't you know? You know it. On 31st March, you would have started depreciation and that would have been recorded in the journal and that should depreciation would have been come in the trial balance. Do you know, in good problems, depreciation will be given inside trial balance. In good problem, all outstanding payments will come inside trial balance. I give an example for regarding outstanding payment that will make the things clear. Outstanding salary. What is the meaning? Salary till 31st March has not been paid and it is to be payable next month only. That's the meaning. That is how it became outstanding. Don't you know on 31st March you did not pay salary? Don't you know? You know it. If you know it, You would have made an entry on 31st March itself. What is the entry? Salary account, debtor to outstanding salary account. What is the entry? If that entry would have been made in the journal, then outstanding salary account would have come inside trial balance, not outside trial balance. Take another example, prepaid expenses. Insurance, that is the expense you know very well. Regarding insurance, I don't want to deal in detail. It will take 1 hour for me to discuss about insurance alone. Forget it. Insurance normally you have seen as prepaid. Why it is prepaid? Why? Because it is paid in advance on the very first day when the insurance policy was taken. That is the rule. That is the insurance rule. What is that? Anybody taking insurance policy is supposed to pay the premium on the very first day when the policy was taken. And since the time has not been expired, what you did? The remaining period amount you treated as paid in advance. That is called prepaid. You are not aware. On 31st March, this much of amount is paid in advance. You were aware because you knew that it was paid 1 year back, 6, 7, 8 months back, and some amount is still paid in advance. Why you did not make an entry on that day, 31st March? Very easily you would have made an entry. What is that? Prepaid insurance account, debtor to insurance account is the entry. Suppose this entry would have been made in the trial balance, sorry, in the journal, then naturally prepaid insurance would have come inside trial balance. You did not do that. And that is the reason all these adjustments appeared outside trial balance. Suppose you are intended to charge interest on capital, you would have charged on 31st March itself, last day. Why you kept as an adjustment? Why you put as an adjustment outside trial balance? For each and every these questions, you know, answer is there with me. And why these came as an adjustment, I can discuss in length and breadth for 1 hour, 2 hours for each and every element. Why it came outside trial balance, we are discussing in detail. Only one example I can give why it came outside trial balance. In my opinion, it should not have come outside trial balance. The first adjustment in the classroom, all the commerce students and teachers teach as well as the students learn is what? Closing stock. One adjustment, common adjustment is closing stock. In my opinion, closing stock is not at all an adjustment. Closing stock should have been given inside trial balance, not outside trial balance. If the stock taking has been, stock taking is not your duty. Stock taking it can be done by storekeeper. You are an accountant and you are doing your work in the office, closing the accounts on 31st March. And stock taking is done by storekeeper and he will do the work and he will bring the stock statement in the evening. And before preparing trial balance, before closing the journal and ledger, if the closing stock amount is available, you would have made an entry in the journal for closing stock. If the entry would have been made in the journal, then closing stock account would have come in the ledger. If that is the case, then closing stock, no doubt, will come inside trial balance, not outside. Now, Shine? Hello, Shine?
It's audible now. Yes, sir.
Just unmute, ask 2-3 students to unmute.
Just, yeah, yes.
Not the teachers, only students.
Anaga,
Suresh, I can see. Anaga, Suresh, can you see? Anaga, can you hear me? Anaga? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Anaga.
Hello.
Anybody else? One more. Shine, can you, Anaga? One more. Celine Prince, I can see Celine. Okay, Celine, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, only 2 enough. Shine, rest of
yes.
rest of the participants just listen. Rest of them should mute. Anaga and Celine, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What I said? I said closing stock would have been recorded on the final day, so that closing stock would have come inside trial balance. You understand that point?
Yeah.
You understand that point?
Yes, sir.
Celine, you understand that point? Celine. Okay. Okay. Can you give me by virtue of which entry closing stock appeared inside trial balance? You know one thing very well, Anaga, but an item will find a find a place inside trial balance only if it is recorded in the journal.
Yes.
Correct? If closing stock is given inside trial balance, can you tell me by virtue of which journal entry closing stock appeared inside trial balance? What is the entry made by you so the closing stock appeared inside trial balance? For example, salary came inside because of an entry. That entry is salary accounted to cash account. Am I right? Salary came inside trial balance because of an entry. Salary account debtor to cash account. Am I right?
Yeah.
Similarly, how closing stock appeared inside trial balance? What is the entry made by you? Any idea?
Yes, sir.
What is the entry? Tell me the entry. How closing stock appeared inside trial balance? Even though it is wrong, don't worry. Even though your entry is wrong, you don't worry. Okay. Fine. Anaga, don't worry. I will help you. You mute it. Friends, listen to me. Listen to me. The entry made by you in the journal is closing stock account, debtor to purchasers account. That is entry made by you. Only when you make the entry, closing stock account, debtor to purchase account, closing stock appears inside trial balance. The next question arises, sir, why purchase account is credited? Closing stock is debited, we can understand. Why? Because stock is an asset. An asset always shows a debit balance. That is clear. And why purchase account is credited? You have to think over. Why purchase account is credited? Suppose you want to answer this question, my dear friends, you have to again refers to another great formula we teach in the classroom. Let me go to that formula first. Normally, when we teach in the classroom, we prepare profit trading account and we show to students, this is the gross profit. That is the end of it. When you prepare trading account, you get the gross profit, and that is the end for us. But we never discuss in detail this terminology, gross profit. And if you conduct a research, right, scientifically, you get the answer, GP is equal to S minus C, where C is equal to opening stock plus purchases minus plus direct expenses minus closing stock. In this formula, the answer for my question is hidden. What is my question? Why purchase account is credited? Closing stock account, debtor to purchase account is the answer I gave to you. That is the reason closing stock appeared inside trial balance. But now the question is, if any student is asking, madam or sir, why purchase account is credited? There should be answer with you, and that should be a scientific answer also. And that scientific answer, my dear friends, you get if you study this formula elaborately. The answer is hidden in this formula. What is the formula? Cost of goods sold is equal to opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. In this formula, answer is there. If somebody finds the answer, please email the answer to me in detail. Okay, because if I do right now, it will take another 1 hour for me to explain to you. This formula is the one, and this is how science come to play. See, I gave the formula. A formula is a mathematical formula actually, and this formula is a science. Why balance sheet tallies is a science. Anyway, come back. This is the reason closing stock appears inside trial balance. Now the question is, sir, if that is the case, why closing stock is given outside trial balance? Because we did all the problems in the classroom and also for examination. In majority of the cases, 99% of cases, we have seen closing stock outside trial balance. What is the reason? Simple. It is not recorded. It is not recorded in the journal. Why it is not recorded? Because stock taking was not over till 31st March evening. Till the evening of 31st March, when you were preparing trial balance, you are an accountant, your work is going on, and you prepare trial balance, but storekeeper's work is not yet over. And storekeeper is bringing the stock statement only in the evening, that too after preparing trial balance. And you don't have time to record it again in the journal. Why? You already closed all the journal, you closed all the ledger balance, the ledger accounts, and now you prepare trial balance and waiting for the stock statement. This stock statement would have come in the afternoon, you would have made an entry in the journal. Then this closing stock would have come inside trial balance. But unfortunately, storekeeper did not produce this stock statement till evening, that is by the time you prepared your trial balance. Therefore, what you did? You put the closing stock outside trial balance. And that is how closing stock appeared outside trial balance. Therefore, in the classroom, first we have discussed this one. Why? Why closing stock is given outside trial balance? Why outstanding expense are given outside trial balance? Why prepaid are given outside trial balance? Why transfer to provision for bad and doubtful debts are given outside trial balance? First, you discuss these elements. Why? Then try to find the answer for that. And that answer should be a scientific answer. Now come back to closing stock. It is given outside trial balance. And if an item is given outside trial balance, the meaning is it is not yet recorded. If it is not recorded, the meaning is the double entry principles of debit and credit are not applied. If the double entry principles are not applied, you are applying for the first time, and since you apply for the first time, the amount should come in two places. One is debit aspect, another is credit aspect. And that is the reason, my dear friends, all adjustments will appear minimum in two places. Because you are recording the transaction for the first time. And when you record for the first time, there must be dual aspect, a debit aspect and a credit aspect. And that is the reason closing stock appears in two places, one in trading account, another is in balance sheet. Suppose the closing stock is given inside trial balance, it would have come in only one place, and that place is balance sheet, not trading account. If closing stock is given inside trial balance, it comes in only one place. That place is balance sheet. But if closing stock is given outside trial balance, it comes in two places. Why? You are applying double entry for the first time. Why you did not apply? You did not apply. That is the reason it is given outside trial balance. It is not in the journal. See how the things are happening, science is happening now. That is the reason each and every adjustment should have to undergo double entry principles for the first time. And you are making entry for that. And those entries are known as adjusting entries. And that is when you make adjusting entry, there must be a debit aspect and a credit aspect. And when you record it, there must be, these adjustments should appear in two places. Like this. This is, I'm discussing only the basics now, basics of science of accounting. When you go to higher level, that is cash flow statement, fund flow statement, you can't imagine what science we apply. Without principles, you cannot write anything in accountancy. You cannot write 100 rupees anywhere in the financial statement without principles. On which principle you prepare Pranas account? Profit and loss account is the outcome of a combination of 2-3 principles. Realization concept, number 1. Realization concept, accounting period concept, number 2. And we compare revenue with the expense. That is also a concept, that is a principle. Like that, we apply 2-3 principles together, and that is how profit and loss account is prepared. Balance sheet is prepared because of the combination of, again, 1 or 2 principles. One principle I told you, A is equal to C plus L, and that is a principle. Please keep in mind, balance sheet is not derived like this. It derived because of, first we made the formula, then we discuss about the formula, then we discuss about the dual aspect, then we concluded same amount should come in 2 places. Then we decided there must be debit. We give the name debit and credit. Please keep in mind, in accountancy, there is no meaning for debit and credit as such. Debit and credit, these two terminologies we apply throughout our life as a application method. We apply debit and credit. Debit, as it is, what is the meaning? No meaning. But when you apply that, it has got immense meaning. That is how we made dual aspect. There are 13 to 14 principles. There are around 39 accounting standards. When we apply all these together, A combination of these is the outcome. What the outcome is, a best accountancy. Same is the case with our higher level. You go to MCOM level, you prepare for cash flow, fund flow, even in management accounting. We have to apply a lot of principles in doing management accounting. Just by hearting some accounting ratios, one cannot be an expert in accounting ratios. Each and every ratio is a mathematical formula. By hearting the accounting ratio and solving a problem is not a good method of doing accounting ratios. Only when we try to understand what is in between the lines of a ratio formula, then only we can able to understand. For example, just I take you 2 minutes for this example. Gross profit ratio is 40%. Net profit ratio is 15%, 1-5. I repeat, gross profit ratio is 40%, 40. Net profit ratio is 15%, 1-5. And I am an investor, and imagine you are a consultant. I'm coming to you asking, I want to invest my money in the shares of this company. Which company? A company whose gross profit ratio is 40% and net profit ratio is 15%. It is a profit-making company. Why? Because 15% net profit ratio is there. Suppose I'm asking, I want to invest my money in the shares of this company. Will you advise? Will you advise positively or negatively? I will tell you, since it is a profit-making company, 15% net profit ratio is there. You can say, yes, you invest in this company. Why? It is a profit-making company. 15% net profit ratio is there. In my opinion, this is not at all a good company. This company is not worth of investment. Do you know why? This company made a gross profit of 40 rupees, 40%. What is the meaning? For every 100 rupees of sales, this company made 40 rupees of gross profit. At the end of the day, how much they are having? Net profit? For every 100 rupees of sales, the net profit is only 15 rupees. 40 rupees they made gross profit, imagine. When they sold the goods for 100 rupees, they got 40 rupees as gross profit. But the take-home profit, that is net profit, is only 15 rupees. Is this a good company? This is not a good company. Why? Because 25 rupees they lost somewhere. When they sold the goods for 100 rupees, they got 40 rupees in their hands as gross profit. But when the net profit came, it is only 15 rupees. So where went this 25 rupees? This type of discussion we require in the classroom. This is what actually the scientific method of learning the accounting ratios. Not just this ratio. This is only a simple example I gave in 2-3 minutes. Just like this, we are having plenty of accounting ratios, but each and every ratio is worth of teaching in a best manner in the classroom. Then only our students will start thinking about a company. Why? Because suppose our students are becoming bank managers tomorrow. Naturally, these people have to apply accounting ratios, my dear friends. Why? Suppose a businessman is coming to you asking for a loan. Do you know what you are asking first? You are asking to bring the last 3-4 years profit and loss account and balance sheet. Why? You have to conduct accounting ratio analysis. You want to verify a lot of things with the help of accounting ratios. Profitability, solvency, liquidity, everything you have to analyze. Then only as a bank officer, you decide whether loan is to be sanctioned or not. Therefore, that is one area where you have to concentrate. You have to study hard regarding just don't by heart. Try to understand what I am doing and why I am doing like this. Because it has got a science behind this. You have to analyze, understand. Any businessman can make a window-dressed financial statement. But you as a commerce student should know this is not window-dressed. This is real. And if you want to know it real, you must understand what is the science behind these items or elements you write in the financial statements. And this is what, actually, this is a session just I want to open up your mind. Okay, the time allotted for me by Mr. Shine is only 45 to 50 minutes. It has almost 1 hour now, Shine. Shine. Where is Shine?
Unmuting myself. Unmuting myself.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Shine, is it almost 1 hour now?
No, yeah, sir, you can go for. I mean,
No, no,
continue, sir, please.
this
I don't
I
want to.
just want to open up their minds. Why? Because if I go teaching like this, Shine, I can go for 2 hours, 3 hours like this. Each and every element I can discuss in detail.
Yeah,
Now,
yes,
what
sir.
I can do, in the days to come, if anybody would like to have more services from me, just give me a call. I will be there in your classroom.
Oh, great, sir.
Hello. Can I speak to some teachers now? Some teachers. Chandini? Chandini?
Yes,
Hi,
yes, I'm hearing.
Arabic teacher.
Chandini. Yeah, Chandini, if I go like this, Chandini, I can go for 2-3 hours.
Yes, sir, sure. Because
But,
this is the most needed session for any commerce.
Okay, Chandini, what I can do, whenever time permits, you just invite me. I will be ready to discussing the things in detail with your students in the classroom.
So we are more than happy. Sure, we will.
Because I require 2-3 hours. Yes, you connect somebody, Shine,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Centris teachers. Anne is there. Anne Kiri, Anne, Jency, Shruti is there. Shruti Melvin.
Yeah, Shruti teacher.
Jency.
CB
Yeah.
teacher is. Are you there itself, CB sir? I mean, CB ma'am.
Shruti alle? Shruti or Anne?
CB Sebastian.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, CP, can you hear me? Shruti, who is there? Shruti or?
Yeah, Shruti is
Shruti,
here,
ma'am.
sir.
Yeah,
Shruti is
yeah.
here.
Yeah. Shruti, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You heard what I said, suppose I go like this, I can go for 2-3 hours.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, now I would like to concentrate on classrooms.
Okay.
When time permits, I am happy to come over there. Okay.
Oh, sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Discuss with
Thank
the
you.
students in length and breadth, cash flow, fund flow, the scientific aspect of each and every topic we discuss in the classroom, we will discuss in detail.
Oh, thank you
Okay.
so much, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And Jeffrey is always free to invite me. Jeffrey,
Yes, sir. We are very happy to have you with us.
Jeffrey, you went back some 10 years back. Your memories went back some 10 years.
Yeah, of course, sir. Yes, sir. And even some of my batchmates are also there.
Very good.
Yeah,
They're all listening. Okay, Shine.
Sir, one second. Our Vice Principal, Dr. Roslyn Gonzaga, is here. I request ma'am to address. Please, ma'am.
Sir, we're very happy to have you with us, and
Thank you.
very happy that you said you're willing to come and help us out in our classes also. So we'll be asking you.
Madam, I can open up a topic. Rest can be done by the teachers. I hope they will do
Uh-huh.
this. And apart
Yes,
from that,
sir.
some more science of accounting we will discuss. Now tell me, those who learned, Chandini, Jeffrey, Shruti is there. Now tell me, accountancy is an art subject or a science subject?
This
course,
is
it is
science.
science.
It is
Huh?
Science subject, sir.
And it
Science.
is 100% science. You cannot do anything in accountancy without applying the principles. You
Yeah.
cannot do. Take it from me. And so long as you apply principles, it is a science. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is not art subject. Please take it as science subject and think yourself and do better. Tell me, Roslyn.
Yes, sir.
Carry on.
Anyways, very happy to hear you, sir. And then I was telling Shine when he had organized this, I said this is a wonderful session, and I feel the teachers also should be a part of the session.
Ah,
This is
yeah.
the first comment that I gave him.
We will do that. Absolutely in the days to come.
Yes,
we will
sir.
do that. Absolutely no problem for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of your students are here, sir. Jibin is here from St. Paul's.
I know. Jibin is there and Pinto. Some of the students in the corporate sector also joined me. Some of my students were in the corporate. Somebody, Pinto, Nick, yeah, many people are there. Yeah, wind up, Shine.
Sir, I mean, in this outset, I would like to thank our Dr. Rajgopal Nair, our beloved professor, who had keen in improving the results of our St. Albert's College. I just want to share one of his achievement that is basically on, he had, while he was in St. Albert's College, we had a CA program.
Foundation course. CA Foundation.
And will be serving
Hello.
Has
Hello.
national and BA Foundations. Yes, sir, BA Foundations. Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah.
Your voice was audible for me, sir. And
Okay, carry on.
I just want to appreciate the tremendous work that he had done during his tenure in St. Albert's College, and as he continued his service for the St. Albert's College as well as for the Knowledge Society. From the bottom of our heart. And on behalf of the Albertian Center for Human Resource Development and Research and the management of St. Albert's College and our dear co-hosts, the Department of Commerce, Self-Finance, I extend our sincere gratitude and thanks to beloved Professor Dr. Rajgopal Nair for his wonderful session. I believe that some of the people have learned commerce is not an art subject, it's a science, purely science.
No, accounting.
Accounting is purely science subject. No worries that the days will prove that the students who are listening will join the academic community to prove the quality of the teacher. That's how quality of the teacher is being evaluated. So on behalf of everyone, I appreciate and thank Dr. Rajgopal Nair, sir, who have immense knowledge and good experience. Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful session. And I would like to thank all the people who joined, especially the faculties from other colleges, St. Paul's, St. Xavier's, Mar Ivanius, SB Changanasheri, and all the colleges who have joined with us for this wonderful program. Thank you very much, knowledge community members, the faculty team, and the team of Commerce Self-Financing Department of St. Albert's College. I appreciate that you have done a wonderful, marvelous work by sharing these things to the students and convincing them to join during the lockdown period. And I want to appreciate all the students who have joined for this program. You had two options. Either you can sit idle in your home and you can play with some other things, but you kept apart. You had, you thought and decided to join for an knowledge enhancement activity. I appreciate each and everyone who like to travel to explore the knowledge. Congratulations to everyone and thanks to everyone. Thank you very much, sir.
Shine, thank you very much for this wonderful
Thank you
introduction.
so much, sir.
And
Thank you so much.
my sincere prayers to all of you. Keep fine, keep healthy, keep safe.
Yes, sir. You too keep safe and God bless you for your wondrous works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks.
All the students can discontinue the call. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Sinu.
Thank you, sir.
Jeffrey, thank you. Anaga.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
May God bless you. May God bless you.
Sir, almost, all the students are leaving.
They are leaving, and I can see their love and affection expressing through. I'm very happy about it. All my children.
All the messages and everything are recorded, sir, and
send it to me. Please send it to me.
Yeah, obviously. Yes, sir. I will upload in our college website as well as in the YouTube channel. I will send the link, sir.
Thank you. Can you send it to me?
Yeah, sure, sir. Entire session has been recorded.
Thank you. Send it to me. I'm so happy about it, and may God bless all of you. Ashwadi, K.A. I can see Ashwadi.